G'day and welcome back to Torment Tides of Ranmenera. So since the last time I played this game, I've actually applied the code I got for backing the game. So I now have some more gear, so I should probably look at that. These are the various pre-order outfits that you could get. I suspect that you got different ones from different retailers or something, but you get all three as a backer. And so we've got Will-Woven Adamant Regalia, which boosts our damage on Esotery or boosts our ability to hit with Esotery. We've got Mind-Forged Plating, which drops our ability to defend but makes us hit more easily, and gives us more armor. Don't really care about that. And there's this one, which is more armor, resistance, and cipher limit, which seems like it would be better. All of them are at a minimum better than the Will-Woven Garment, so deal. I guess I'm going to go with this one because higher cipher limit sounds great. And so these are the ciphers we can hold without restriction, and then these are like our overloaded ciphers. So without that, we're actually... Really? That doesn't make any sense. That's actually dropped our cipher limit. On 3 armor, 2 resistance. I guess it is a better armor. No. Does it count as a cipher? That's weird. I guess I'll report that as a bug. So if we're not wearing any armor... Oh, because it's an artifact, right? So the artifact is... It is a cipher. Gotcha. But this is also not a cipher. Right, okay. That's the Will-Woven Adamant. I mean, I'd rather have the Witchcraft Shapestone Harness, but it's meant to actually increase our maximum number of ciphers, and it hasn't? Whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, and what we'll do right now is we'll go outside. Let's see if anything's changed in the reef. Okay.
I need to talk to you.
Fine.
This is the Reef of Fallen Worlds, kid. It's a dangerous place at the best of times. And with you lighting up the sky as you fell, well, we should get out of here as soon as possible.
Why were you looking at me when you said that? I wasn't. Don't be so paranoid. When she isn't looking, he raises his eyebrows at you knowingly. What makes the reef so dangerous? The Numenera of the past are always dangerous, but there are other dangers too, some closer than others. I hate to think what Sage might do if I weren't here. Can you tell me what's dangerous again? Does anything change? What happens if we repeatedly tell you the same thing? Nothing. Fine. What are the Numenera? You want me to tell you? He laughs without mirth. The Numenera are all around you. Everything left over from the prior world. Sagas Cliff thrives by trading artifacts from ancient civilization. Hells, you can't scoop a handful of earth without finding trip from prior worlds mixed with it. Numenera is anything from the prior worlds, but mostly we mean stuff of value to us. A lot of Numenera are just oddities, fantasy trinkets with little real use. Sometimes you'll get a cipher that lets you do something incredible. Artifacts are worth even more. A cipher will only do something once, but artifacts last a lot longer. But they can burn out at the most inconvenient times. He frowns. Not that it's ever happened to me. Of course, we've got no idea what most of this junk was originally intended for. In most cases, it doesn't matter. You might find what used to be a propulsion unit for a star chariot, but who the hell knows how to build the rest of it? Better use it as a weapon or a power source. He scowls, frustrated about something. I bet we could remake the world if we just knew a tenth of the secrets of the ancients, but most days it's just a challenge to survive. And so the difference between artifacts and Numenera is, as he says, quite right. Artifacts are multi-use, Numenera are one-shot, but the ciphers are one-shot. Whatever. So what happens, at least in the tabletop game, is that when you use an artifact, there's a depletion roll, so there's a chance that it'll run out, but it's just not guaranteed. What's your story? Ask me again when we get out of here. I don't trust this damn reef any more than the company we keep. What do you think of Siege? parasite disguised as a Skullock. Don't be surprised if she betrays you before the day is done. Actually, that would be slow for her. You can tell me about your sweet tats? They look almost alive. These? They're nothing. Call them a consolation if you must. He smiles grimly. Some call them by worse names, but that's because they've had occasion to run foul of these little snakes. He looks away. This line of questioning is clearly an end. My gift and curse. They remind me of it every day. What do you think we should do next? You want to fix that crystal chamber back there, yeah? First step is getting out of this reef.
Here we go then.
Okie dokie. So, let's look at these things. This is kind of meant to be your introduction to the fact that not all things around here are really intended to interact with you, I guess. Two floating cones whirl and spin deliriously around each other, giggling like children being tickled. The air around them smells of sweet, burning leaves. What are you? Cones continue whirling and laughing like enraptured dancers, giving no sign of what they've heard. What are you for? The cones greet your question with a split second of hushed silence, followed by delighted peals of helpless giggling. They aren't for anything. They're from one of the worlds before this one. Sometimes Numenera will do something useful, sometimes they'll turn you inside out, and sometimes they don't do a damn thing that makes sense. I've often said the same thing about you, darling. Let's touch a cone as it passes. Wow, that's super easy, I guess because of quick fingers? Calistage, you do it for me. You manage to graze one of them with the tip of your finger. Drawn, a voice says, and your voice is stolen from you. A moon hangs over you, but it's not the one you recognize. It's black and in a pearl-white sky. Thick, flat asteroids orbit it like petals in the wind. You feel questing tendrils at your ankle, and the hot wind on your face smells of scorched hair and grief. Your vision returns. The cones hang motionless for only a second before resuming their giggling dance. Watch them for patterns. They turn faster when they're spiraling paths across each other, but we don't have anything else that would let us know anything more. Alright, cool.
In an instant.
Ooh, that's new. So, healing item, shins. I'll take them.
I'm ready.
Let's now get this thing. Alright, we're at the edge of the map. A tangled cluster of metallic tendrils grows from the depths of the nearby water. Strangely, they resemble clawed alien hands, most of which have 7 or 8 fingers. Examine the cluster. The hands sway softly, but their movements are difficult to follow. Watching them for too long makes you feel nauseous. Apart from the hands themselves, you don't notice anything of interest in the cluster. Let's try breaking off one of those hands. This is a might check. And elegant. We're getting 20% from those? Really? Meant to be plus 15% normally. Why are we getting extra benefit from our effort? And yep, you grip the hand nearest to you and snap it from its roots. Stepping back, you give it a couple of experimental swings. Good balance, it might make a decent weapon. You're unhappy unless you're breaking things, are you? Well, actually I got you to do it, so really you're the one breaking things? Examine the cluster again. The hand sways softly, it's the same thing. Try pulling another hand out. You wrap your hands around one of the wrists, but pull with all your strength. Eventually, gasping, you give up. The tendrils seem thicker and stronger now, as if they fortified themselves against you. Okay, right. Now this. A matte black obelisk floats in the mid-air above the water. It has sharp curved sides that converge to a glowing tip that brightens or dims with the passing of the bay's faint breeze. Lean out to touch the obelisk. You raise your hand toward the obelisk. Dull green light wells from within the black stone, fixed on you like a furious eye. I know someone who did what you're about to do, Elegant says casually. Aeon priest. A beam came out of the top of that thing and ripped his face off. Made a fancy nightlight of his crystal necklace, though. But hey, I'm sure you know what you're doing. Oh, hush it. At least that poor priest died in service of his curiosity rather than stumbling about the coast complaining and feeling sorry for himself. Go ahead if you must, but do be careful. Now we'll stretch out our crystal shard toward the obelisk. Carefully, you level a shot at the obelisk, and a superheated beam lances from the tip of the structure to the crystal, sending vibrations up your arm, suffusing the shard with a warm green glow. Zark? Yeah. So now we've got a better weapon, but I think we're still going to stick to using our esoteric in combat.
Let's go.
What do we got here? Black goop. Ooh. They've definitely added more loot around the place. And this is all healing items. Like, this is all super easy. Nice. Examine. Cable connects the spout to the collection. Ah, here.
Yes.
This is the one I wanted. A bubbling mass of sludge floats on the surface of the water. Every once in a while, an oily nodule separates from it and huddles into the sky. You catch momentary glimpses of a muck-coated object, putrid mass. Have a look at it. Carefully, you lean closer to the heaving mass. After a moment's study, you notice that the globules rising into the sky always contain something. Be it a shining core of untainted seawater, or a tiny fish. Currents within the sludge move in a repeating pattern that suggests a mechanical function rather than organic life. Let's try and get something from the sludge. So, that's just straight 60%, but Calistege is the one with perception, and so she's got a higher base chance. Again, we're getting 20% from effort. That's definitely not how it works in the tabletop one. I don't think it's how it used to work either. Fresh vapors, +1 intellect edge, heals 10 points, 5 uses. Ooh, that's a sweet cipher. A simmering jar made of metallic glass. Inside the jar rests a strange miasma. Its vapors sit crystalline and perfectly still until held. The glass vessel twists and writhes when grasped. When you put it to your ear, when you put your ear to the device and listen closely, the sounds of weeping and hysterical laughter arise from within. Warm to the touch, once inhaled, the vessel becomes ice cold. The user feels panic, fear, nausea, and then sweet relief. A torrent of emotions, akin to getting a full rest. Okay, don't want to use it, but that's cool. Not sure whether that awful muck is harmless or you're immensely lucky. Either way, do go on poking things, dear. It's quite entertaining. Wait for more stuff to surface. Wait. Wait a bit more. Hey, look, at last your patience is rewarded. When an unusual object bubbles to the surface, before it can sink out of sight, you snatch it up. Tar River Globe. You found a veritable filth-stained trove. Well done, dear. Wait patiently, nothing else. You got lucky, kid, but you're not going to find anything else. If it were that easy, you'd have scavengers camped here 28 hours a day. Wait. Fine, I guess.
In this world, then.
Hey, I said
All
go.
right.
You hovers in the air. You can feel the ground shudder with its vibrations.
Let's
Okay,
go.
so let's see if we can avoid Koro. Might as well save here, just in case things go terribly wrong, like the game crashes. The very first, main crisis of the game. But avoidable crisis. Oh, it also saves for you. As you step onto what looks like the back of the enormous construct, 4 strangers approach you. In the lead is a wiry man with parallel scars running from cheek to collarbone on the left side of his face. He gives you a welcoming smile, pulling on grey gloves embedded with pulsing lights. He's about to say something when he noticed Calistege. There's a star came out of it, but what does Cal have to do with this? Cal, I thought you'd sworn off trawling the reef. Found anything tasty? His eyes travel up and down both you and Elegern. Odds and ends, Koro. Nothing that would interest you, I'm sure. Her words are calm, but she's gone quite still. What is he doing here? There's something up his sleeve, I know it. Calistege, is something wrong? Well, no, let's let Koro and Calistege. Koro's hands curl into a fist at his side. I was wondering, specifically, if you'd seen a fallen star that landed near here not long ago. I've seen nothing of the sort, dear Koro. Her lips closed thinly. What about your friends? I know most of the draft that scavenges the reef these days. It's a rare pleasure to see a new face. Let's see. What are those Nice scars, how'd you get them? Two things more dangerous than death in this world, he says, with a smile widening. Asking impolite questions of strangers and playing with Numenera you don't fully understand. My error was in the latter category. I've grown more careful since. What are the gloves for? Unwelcome but anticipated complications. He does not elaborate. He does so love his hand. Elsie whispers into your ear again, even though her mouth is closed and she isn't looking at you. He didn't have the gloves when I last knew him, but I'd wager they're connected to devices in the area. So, the star. Have you seen it? I'll be honest with you. I saw the star, but I don't know where it landed. So, we got a really low chance of doing this. Blue is one of our dominant tides, but Koro is a note with us. So that impertinent question was actually quite bad for us. Oh, nice. So we got a 60% chance if we do this. Well, and yeah, I guess they've just made it so effort does more. Interesting. Let's give it a go. Bow. Koro regards you skeptically. You've got such an honest face. Lies don't belong on it. Let's be truthful with each other, Fallen Star. You got two choices here. Both of them are dreadful. First option. You surrender to us, and we convey you to my employer for, well, experimentation and dissection. Not pretty, but there it is. Second option, we kill you and the old man, try not to kill Calistige, and bring your body to our employers anyway. Apologies, sweetness. You told him we were here, didn't you? Couldn't resist selling me out one more time. You really so paranoid? Darling, take your thugs and go home. Otherwise we'll have to rip you to pieces. The world is already so untidy. What do you say, Fallen Star? So, we can, fight them, kill them, take their stuff. Pretty typical things. But you know what? I'm gonna surrender. Fine, I surrender. What are you doing? We can defeat them. There's no wrong, kid. Why are you doing this? I don't want anyone risking their lives for me. Gold tide has risen. Interesting. You made the right choice. Now, I suppose we could bind your arms, but it's probably safer this way. Before you can react, Koro slams his elbow into your face. You see a blinding light, then darkness. Gain 25 XP. A city carved in stone. Ranmenera, you float beneath the nauseous tide of darkness. Indistinct sounds drift up by you like shining fish. Slowly you rise towards consciousness. Sounds string themselves together. A woman's voice, arch and scornful. You any idea who this is? Who you hold through the streets like a sack of grain, Koro? Look at the tattoo for pity's sake. Does it mean nothing to you? You'll be awake soon, Ranmenera, I promise. And I swear to you, if I had, I had no idea. Of course you didn't. Reaching even the most obvious conclusion requires some degree of intelligence. I asked you to retrieve the falling star, whatever it was, not assault a stranger, especially not one who happened to be the changing god. Get up. Koro recoils with a muttered curse as you rise, grimacing and unsteady. Come now, Adan, Ranmenera says. Do shake it off. I don't believe for a second you're actually feeling your age. You struggle to focus on Ranmenera. Her arms are folded and she's distinctly unamused. I suppose some apologies are in order, she says, glaring at you. I'll go first. If I had known you were the falling star, I would have given Koro very different instruction. He raises an eyebrow. Now it's your turn. I haven't seen you in 10 years. 10 years! I cannot begin to imagine what your excuse might be. Eminences. An image flashes before you, unbidden. Ranmenera, 10 years younger, asleep in bed beside you, her lips parted. She's dreaming and smiling. Our last night together was so incredible. What could possibly have driven her off? Oh wow, there are so many of these. I'm not Adan, or I meet a lot of people. Can you remind me how we know each other? Fell in love with someone else? Sorry, that's the truth. If you want an apology from me, you'll be waiting a long time, or became aware of a plot against my life to flee the city. I'm gonna go with I'm not Adan. Indigo. She blinks twice, a smile blooms. You're a cast-off, she murmurs, studying you from head to foot with appraising somewhat proprietary. Remarkable. Oh, this is rather like visiting a house you once owned, seeing new tenants through the windows. I've met members of your family before, of course, trailing around in that shadow, looking for clues, trying to repair the damage. Her smile is genuine and somewhat sad. Her eyes linger on yours as if looking for any flash of recognition. I can help you if you'd like, but I need something from you first. Are we talking about romantic favors here? She rolls her eyes. Please, that time is dead, gone, and buried beneath a decade. At any rate, think it over. She grins wolfishly. And tell me when you're ready to help. I won't give a heart to another, least of all her, and most of all. Let's talk about that favor you won. Of course. He draws your attention to a map of the Reef of Fallen Worlds on a workstation, taps a gilded, ornate structure, not far from the dome containing the resonance chamber. This is the anechoic lazaret. It has been hopelessly sealed since the dawn of the ninth world until... She smiles. I managed it in a week or two. It was quite simple when I figured out the trick. I've been slipping in and out at nights, investigating the technology within, taking notes. Then more recently, I discovered the structure was sealed again. You think one of your colleagues is responsible? I doubt it. First of all, I haven't told them. The Order's been trying to open the lazaret for centuries, and I want it to myself for now. Secondly, my colleagues are nosy and somewhat competitive in a charmingly amateuristic fashion, but none of them have the stones for out-and-out treachery. I believe someone trapped inside with no regard for the dangers and managed to trigger a failsafe that resealed the structure. She flicks a strand of hair from her eyes. I need someone to reopen the lazaret. She waves her hand. And handle whatever nonsense trespassers have stirred up in their wake. Why not send Koro? I suppose I could do that, she says, and Koro stirs hopefully. If I wanted him dead by sundown, the entire structure looted by strangers, or aflame. She arches a cold eyebrow. Alternately, I could hire someone competent. Koro sacks. Poor Koro. Besides, I can reopen the structure. The concern is what's waiting for me inside. I want you to deal with whatever's gone wrong in there so I can resume my work. Needless to say, I'd also prefer the structure in an undamaged state as I left it. Well, there it is. Will you help? Yeah, sure, why not? Excellent, she says briskly, but with relief flashes across her face. She hands you a metallic stalk with a flower-like ridge along its length, and a mechanical eye at one end. Simply head down to the Reef of the Fallen Worlds and brandish it at the door of the lazaret. It should open before you. Good luck. Please, Salamari, Cora says, edging in beside me. Give me another chance. I can handle this. I have to win it back. Her respect to me. Right, her respect. Let him try. Why not? He shoots you a mistrustful glance, but otherwise continues pretending you don't exist. She says, looking between the two of you. Salamari considers you both, then sits to her work table, picking up a metallic eye. You're welcome to try, Koro, she says, and she hands over the eye, but holds onto it when he tries to take it. This is your last chance. If you come back empty-handed, you had better be dead as well. Trembling, Koro pockets the eye and leaves, eyes downcast. Prove myself to her. Then she'll see me as more than just a mercenary. He's going to fail, of course, but it's what he does best. Got some questions about the changing god? Good. Curiosity about your origin is quite healthy. I'll be happy to share what I know once you've completed that favor for me. What do you do here, anyway? I study the ruins and remnants of past worlds. When I have time, of course. These days, the Order spends more of its time helping the city than on its own research. Still labouring under lesser minds, dear, Elistide says, running at the edge of her thumb along a nail. Never understood how you put up with it. Just too smart for the Order. What disturbs me is he knows it yet stays. It's quite simple, she says with brittle humour. They pay. It helps a great deal. Will you be staying with us for long this time? Give up her body so completely. What does she know? What is she really after? I think not, Galaxy says, letting her hands fall. Busy times ahead, I'm afraid. Farewell. Perhaps I'll see you again. This is not how I pictured you arriving at the Order Truth. To be clear, I had no part in Korra's ambush, but I did prevail upon him to allow me to accompany you here. Now that you've come, you may as well take full advantage of the situation. Avail yourself of the knowledge here. Alagan is not with us, as you can see. He would not sully his precious mind by stepping within these walls, so he's gone off to his workshop in the underbelly. I suggest you let him rot there. The words we spoke as we parted were unkind. His accusations of betrayal were a final pin atop an overloaded bridge. You were, in a sense, the catalyst of our change. Her disposition becomes radiant. And here we are, free of his gloom and mistrust. Come. Salameri's little dangerous task. And wait, dear. Let's explore the city, you and I.
Right.
Well, yeah, we will definitely do that. What we're also going to do is take a look around here.
Let's go.
Poking at things where we can. And then we're going to go and fix a clock so I can get the last piece of my character generation done. A small wireframe pyramid sits on a base of polished wood. Lying inside the pyramid is a dull sphere of silverish metal. Look at the sphere. Suspended in its wire cage, the sphere is almost perfectly sized to fit in your palm. The gaps in the wiring mesh are large enough for you to reach out through, but not large enough to pull the sphere out. Let's look at the frame. The frame appears to be fixed firmly in place. It's constructed of organic material grown in a manner similar to bone or coral. Thinner vein-like strands of the material wind across each of the triangular sides. Some structure is odd about it. Determine why. Do you have perception here? Or rather, I'm pretty sure it's Calistige's perception. And she's got plenty, so we're just gonna use up her intellect points here. While examining the frame, you nudge it gently and it shifts in a most peculiar manner. You focus on moving the frame in various directions and discover it can be easily lifted off the base and lowered back down onto it, but it refuses to move laterally even while being held in mid-air. Okay, let's examine the base. The base appears to be made from a slab of lurid red stone. On closer inspection, you recognize it as a petrified wood of some sort. An inscription has been written on the base in front of the pyramid. Examine the inscription. Inscription is in an alien language. It's been burned into the wood and then filled with a luminous substance. Though you know you haven't seen the language in your own short life as a cast-off, it seems familiar. Try and remember it. Let's just use all our intellect on this. Boom. A distant memory surfaces. You're standing before a large metal cylinder that looms a meter or two above your head. The cylinder is a time capsule of sorts, and you're convinced what lies within is critical to your latest experiments. The problem, alas, is that the capsule is locked. The only clue to opening it is a series of strange glyphs etched into its sides. Glancing around, you see dusty tomes, faded banners, metal scraps, and dozens of other objects, all featuring the same strange glyphs. You spent a lifetime collecting every trace of this language that could be found, and decades of study led to this moment. You look upon the glyphs, and you know their meaning. Stepping forward, you reach towards the cylinder as prescribed by the etchings, and it flares to life. Taking up the memory, look down at the inscription and realize its meaning is now clear. The crimson dawn greets the seeker. Violet dusk sees the search end. So red, then violet last, I guess. Leave the device alone. So what we're going to do is, now I've done that, we're going to use one of the charges. Let's actually take a quick look at this. Transparent glass sphere encloses a miniature scene of a river of tar running through a wasteland. It also contains a mystical blue liquid which seems like it would mix with the tar if the globe was shaken. Notice ancient, indecipherable writing around the base. No, I don't want to discard it. I just want to close the interface. Okay, so what we're going to do is... right, this is a cipher, and this is actually showing a different cipher limit, but we appear to have text have been corrupted. Okay, cool. So we're going to use one of this.
That's the stuff.
Oh yeah. Look at that. Back to 10, and we've got one intellect edge.
Yes.
So our intellect tests are cheaper. Touch the sphere. You extend your hand towards the sphere, thinner strands along the front side of the cage retract towards the thicker frame edges, creating an opening large enough for the sphere to fit through. Take the sphere. You pull the sphere out of the frame facing you and it immediately begins to glow scintillating blue. You pause for a moment to make sure there are no other effects, then try to put it with the rest of your belongings. At some point during this motion, the sphere simply vanishes, only to reappear within the frame, again a dull grey. Apparently taking the sphere will not be so easy. Okay, take the sphere again. Okay. Take the entire... you pull the sphere out again. Again it glows a brilliant blue. With some experimentation, you discover the sphere's position seems to reset whenever it moves beyond a particular distance from the device. As long as you keep it within that distance, as you are now, you can hold on to it. Take the entire device with us. The device is far too bulky to carry around with you. As if reading your thoughts, Min looks over, shaking his head sadly while muttering something under his breath. Put the sphere back in the frame. Now, as you place it back in the frame, it changes to a vibrant orange color. It seems to correspond to moving through the frame boundaries. Perhaps moving it through the other sides will produce additional. Lift the frame and remove it via the bottom opening. Changes to a shining yellow. Then try and return it via the back opening. Full green. Remove it via the back opening. Brilliant blue. Return it. Full green. Okay. Front opening. Violet hue. Bottom, indigo, blue. Okay. Let's leave the device alone. Let's read the inscription. Okay, so Crimson Dawn greets the Seeker, Violet Dusk sees the Searcher's end. So what we want is, if right opening is dull orange, return it, blazing orange, dull orange, okay, front is blue, no that's, yeah, violet, blazing, blue, left opening, which one is this going to be? Lurid red, deep violet, lurid red, and then blazing orange, nope, okay. Difficulty actually trying to figure out how this would work. Crimson Dawn greets the secret, dusk violet. So if we put it back.
Yes.
Alright, so what you have then is you need, so dawn comes from where and dusk comes from where. So the dawn is the sun. Oh, do we want the left? No, there's your violet, right. And there's a yellow. Indigo. Violet. That's a deep violet. What's the difference? Changes from deep violet hue to deep violet? Lurid red. Red to deep violet. Lurid red, deep violet. Leave it alone. Turns to its original one. I really have no idea what I'm doing there. I guess that's something for another time. We basically have just wasted a bunch of time on this. I hope you enjoyed wasting your time with me. Until next time, bye.